Well, hi there everybody and welcome to the Orswell Stadium for tonight's fixture. Bradford Park Avenue hosting Scarborough Athletic. The teams for you today, Bradford Park Avenue, have made 6 changes from the game at the weekend. George Hags Kenworthy keeps his place in goal. Louis Charlton, George Eze, Daniel Benson, Luca Haven, Sam Fielding, Harrison Hopper, Jamie Spencer, Brad Doherty, Ollie Johnson and Josh Hines make up the rest of the starting 11. For Scarborough, just the one change today. In goal is Joe Cracknell, who started every game so far this season. Kieran Waleji, Ashley Jackson, Lewis Maloney, Bailey Gooder, Michael Coulson, Kieran Glynn, Luca Colville, Ryan Qualter, Kieran Burton and Alexander Wiles, who comes in for Danny Greenfield. The minute silence just finishing there as we get ready for this game. Bradford Park Avenue will be kicking from right to left. Green shirts, white shorts, green socks. Scarborough in the away strip tonight with the white tops and black shirts and socks. Referee for today is Richard Holmes, his 2 assistants, Samuel Clayton and Waka Ahmad. Both these sides competing at completely different ends of the table. Huge game in the context of the relegation battle and the playoff picture. And we're underway here at the Orswell Stadium. Bradford Park Avenue kicking off and Sam Fielding immediately going long, but the header is won by the Scarborough Athletic man. George Eze, an academy graduate, going long once again, headed away once again. Sam Fielding challenging for it up against Luca Colville, and ball breaks free for Park Avenue, and they have won a free kick on the edge of the D inside Scarborough's half. Jimmy Spencer and Harrison Hopper standing over this. Jimmy Spencer goes towards the left hand side of the box towards Sam Fielding. It's headed away very well in Scarborough. Come away with the ball and look to break here. It's a lovely ball forward into the path of Luca Colville now. He's got men over on the far side on the left hand side, but it's really good defensive covering over there from Brad Doherty, and the move is altered. Doherty clears only his far. The Scarborough defence, and here they come forward on the edge of the box. Alex Wiles back to left back, crosses it in towards Luca Colville, headed away very well, but the second ball is won by Scarborough, but there is a foul in there. Bradford Park Avenue have a free kick inside their own box here. A minute and a half is gone here at the Orswell Stadium, 0-0. Hags Kenworthy will take this free kick inside his own box. It was a long looking Ollie Johnson. Heading out for a throw into Bradford Park Avenue on this left hand side, near the Scarborough dugout. Reach Alton has come over onto this left hand side, take the throw in. Goes long down the line looking for Ollie Johnson. Tries to head it back in field for Jamie Spencer. It's cleared. James Spencer looking to win the second ball. Josh Hines looking to the right spot. Shelton gets it down, fielding into Ollie Johnson. Tries to control it. Can't quite get it. James Spencer gets a loose ball. Ollie Johnson turns nicely. He's inside the box here. On the left hand side, gets it out wide to Josh Hines. Back to Spencer into Shelton on the left hand side in the crossing position. Has to go back to James Spencer. Ball still with Bradford Park Avenue. Ball towards the back post. They'll go out for a goal kick. First sign. Any pressure from either side. Goal kick. Scarborough Athletic. Bradford Park Avenue did try and postpone the game. They sent a request into the league. It was denied. They have got 10 players out with injury. COVID case. The assistant managers had to sign a contract in order to be able to play tonight. As the Scarborough keeper Cracknell goes along with it. Header is won by Bradford Park Avenue's Daniel Benson, who's just coming on loan from Barnsley to help deal with this injury crisis going on at the minute. Throwing for Scarborough on the halfway line. Down the line, but header is won well. Scarborough throwing again. Down that left hand side. In towards Luca Colville, headed away very well. Scarborough still on the ball here in the middle of the park. It's a nice pass out wide into Kieran Willedge, who's got space running into Willedge, the goal scorer at the weekend. It's won 2 of Scarborough's 4 goals. Scarborough still with the ball here in a decent position to cross here. Wiles forced to go back into Maloney. Out wide to Gouda here. Lovely little chip into the path of Alexander Wiles, who crosses it. And it's cleared away very well, and Spencer clears once more, but Scarborough pick up the loose ball. Looking to come forward here with Willedge, but it's a nice interception from Josh Hines and nice footwork to get away from his man who keeps the ball. Back to Ugahaven, the skipper tonight. It's a run through for Sykes Kenworthy, who goes along looking for Ollie Johnson. Can't win the header, and Bailey Gooder gets it back to his goalkeeper. 0-0, 4.5 minutes gone here at the Oswald Stadium. And the best fixture was a 2-2 draw from Ingleland Stadium early on in the season. Scarborough had the ball in the right wing position. Always back into Lewis Maloney. Scarborough playing a bit of keep ball now. Really good in right back position. Forward into Colville. To good, a nice little pass forward. Ball is out wide here with Willedge. Gets it back to Colville. Side pushing for the playoffs, Scarborough. Potentially automatic promotion started well here. Commanding and on the ball. Ryan Qualter now. Gets it to Kieran Burton. Back to his goalkeeper, who goes along. Into Wiles, who's allowed to control it and get it down to Lewis Maloney. Ball's out wide here, looking for Willedge. Cholton coming across to try and deal with it. Willedge gets past him here and is in a decent position to cross. Shoves off the challenge again. Crosses it in towards the back post, and it's going to be cleared just about by Brad Doherty with some nice control. Doherty clears it down the line looking for Ollie Johnson, but he won't get to that ball before Kieran Burton goes forward into Kieran Glynn. Back to Lewis Maloney now. Maloney out wide too, fairly good on the near side in front of the Scarborough dugout. Goody gets it back to Maloney. Maloney into Wiles. Back to Gooder. To his goalkeeper, Cracknell. Kieran Burton now on the left hand side under pressure. And Doherty goes back to his goalkeeper again. Cracknell now under pressure from Lee Johnson, goes along. Daniel Benson in there trying to challenge it, but it's a ball, lovely ball over the top into Wiles, but it's defended really well by Luca Haven, who gets it. Benson, who then clears eventually, but he's then won in midfield, and Josh Hines turns it nicely away from Willedge into Spencer, who just about gets it to Sanfield and goes back to Luke Alvin, about 10 yards outside his own box into fielding again. Jamie Spencer now with space running to put under pressure by Maloney. Spencer tries to get away from him, gets out to Charlton on this left-hand side. Charlton now still under pressure, he has options to go backwards, does go back to his goalkeeper. He's under pressure from Lucky Colville, but the keeper goes on looking for Ollie Johnson, who can't win there. But Spencer picks up the loose ball, heads it for looking for Josh Hines. It's cleared out for a throw-in on this near side for Bradford Park Avenue. Charlton with the throw-in. Best fiction was a 2-all draw. Bradford Park Avenue went 2-0 up and were leading by 2-0 all the way up until the 86th minute before 2 goals from Dom Terre to rescue a point for Scarborough. Dom Terre has not been available to play for a little while now as Scarborough are on the ball here with Bailey Gooder, who goes down the line looking. Colville flicks it nicely around the corner into Wiles, who tried to play out to that left-hand side, but his pass was deflected into the path of Daniel Benson now. Plays it nicely into Brad Dockett in the middle of the pack. Crosses the halfway line, finding George Ezzy on the right-hand side. He's got options forward, looking for Ollie Johnson. The pass is too heavy and it goes out for a goal kick. And the Scarborough fans located. There's quite a few of them who made the trip 75 miles down from the east. From the east coast, 24 points and 19 places separating these two sides in the league. You can jump up to 19th if they win. Scarborough can go third, just a few points behind the leaders Kings Lynn, who they have up next. Gavin wins their header in the middle of the pack into Ollie Johnson, who appealed for a foul, but it was forthcoming, and Ledgy looking to turn Charlton here just to get it out for throwing on this near side. Ledgy quickly into Wiles. Nice tackle from Charlton, who trying to keep a hold of it. Can't do so, and it's a throw-in for Scarborough. Ledgy on the halfway line to take it. Options forward, does go forward. Header is well won by Haven. Johnson back to Hines and gives it away into Qualter, who goes out wide to Kieran Burton. And he's forward looking for Ledgy, but it's well won by Charlton. Gets it into Josh Hines, who can show his pace, has to go back in field into James Spencer under pressure here. Tries to flick it around the corner for Ollie Johnson, intercepted really well by Bailey Gooder. Gets it back to his centre half, out wide to Kieran Burton now on the left hand side. So options forward, left and back, he chooses to go back to Colton, out wide to Gooder on this near side. Coming forward, plays it down the line looking for Wiles, controls it really well on his chest, but it's just gotten away from him. Throwing on this near side from Bradford Park Avenue, 10 minutes in, 0-0 at the Allsall Stadium in West Yorkshire. Gooder now wins the header. Sanfield wins the next header. Ryan Coulter into Kieran Burton now. Scarborough 6 points off the top. Plays Kings Lynn, but they have played 2 games extra. They play them next weekend as Maloney's on the ball and on the halfway line. Tries to make his way past Harrison off in the end. Has to go back to Kieran Burton. Lovely pass forward. Controlled really well. Gets away from Eze, then the Scarborough Athletic man gets it back to Lewis Maloney, out wide looking to play with Ledgy. It's cleared, and in the end it's cleared all the way through to Cracknell. The Scarborough really imposing themselves here, controlling the ball really nicely. Against this injury riddled for Park Avenue side. Benson of them nearly commits a foul. Maloney coming forward now, gets it out wide to left hand side. Crossfield ball looking for Waledji, controls really well. Charlton tries to stand up, tries to keep past him Waledji here to the byline, tries to cross it side netting, goal kick. First sign of Waledji up against Charlton. They have to beat him, and Charlton is considerably smaller than Waledji. That'll be a really tough night for him. Have to see if he as the match goes on, if he tries to drop off him or get close and possibly commit a foul before, well, as he manages to make his way into the penalty box. Goal kick for Bradford Park Avenue. Sykes Kenworthy was not really to do with the goal kick. Richard Evans waves him to hurry up a little bit. Sykes Kenworthy does go along, looking for Josh Hines. Out for a throw-in on this near side. Look at the Bradford Park Avenue side, you wonder they will struggle for goals. This starting lineup only has 10 goals between all 11 players this season, missing the two top scorers, Will Longbottom and Jacob Blythe. Kieran Burton now for Scarborough. Back to Qualter into really good on the near side. Forward across the halfway line into Colville. Back to Burton. Space running to Jimmy Spencer. Running over to put him under pressure, then Brad Doherty does as well. Ball forward into Luca Colville, controls it nicely up against George Eze. Really nice pass infield looking for Ashley Jackson, who's tackled well. And Doherty, really nice footwork, manages to get past his man and wins a foul on the far side for Bradford Park Avenue to relieve the pressure. Scarborough have got goals in them. We've got the third top scorer, Michael Coulson. He scored 3 in a row. He's got 14 goals this season. The joint 6th top scorer, 3 short of top scorer Connor Hall, as Sykes Kenworthy goes along looking for Ollie Johnson. The header is well won by Coulter. Fielding flicks it on, only as far as the Scarborough Athletic man, who plays a really nice pass, Michael Coulson, out wide to Alegi on this near side. Josh Hines running back to put him under pressure. Back in field to Wiles, into Gooder. Down the line into Alegi, really nice lock. And Josh Hines out for a throw in for Scarborough. Scarborough with a throw in a decent position here. They're loading men up in the box. The back end, you have everybody back. And only Kieran Glynn is back on the halfway line for Scarborough. Going on this side, Ashley Jackson take. Into the box and looking for Scarborough man, but in the end the header was flicked on into the path of Kieran Alegi, and Sykes Kenworthy managed to claim well, held on well, and he has been fouled there, and the referee has blown. Sykes Kenworthy still down, not a good start for Bradford Park Avenue, still with a lot of injuries, and Sykes Kenworthy's got 6 clean sheets so far this season, played every game so far, still down and he's getting treatment now. Whilst Sykes Kenworthy still down, the managers from both sides, especially Matt Bowler, Academy manager, taking a moment to give his place, more instructions, and Sykes Kenworthy is back on his feet, which will be a welcome sight for the Park Avenue fans. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. Game will restart with Sykes Kenworthy. Kenworthy's told his players to go long, so playing the short pass. He does go long looking for Spencer in the end. Ollie Johnson flicks it down nicely, but they can't keep hold of the ball. Park Avenue, but James Spencer's got to the second ball, heads it forward looking for Johnson, headed away nicely. Spencer then out wide to Doherty, who skips past Ashley Jackson really nicely and crosses it in towards Ollie Johnson, who can't quite control it. Hit through to goalkeeper Cracknell there. Ollie Johnson went for the control, might have been better off going for the header if he could have gotten it. Cracknell goes long and Colville flicks it round the corner into Coulson. Wrestling for it, does really well to keep hold of the ball. Shrugging Harrison off. And Scarborough can build now with Kieran Burton. Here is Colson now. 34-year-old, joined in 2017. Scarborough's looking to playing Wiles there, but it was cleared by Luke Gavin. He's a throw-in over on the far side for Scarborough. This Ashley Jackson is over to take the throw-in. And once again, throwing men forward. Only one player back. Bradford Park Avenue have everybody back to defend this throw-in. Ashley Jackson goes into the box. Sykes again with a dunk come free. It nearly dropped for Willedge. It will come down for Luca Covell there, and the pass backwards to Lewis Maloney, and his strike is over for a goal kick. 0-0. 17 minutes gone. Sykes again with the happy to watch that sail over the bar from Lewis Maloney, who has been in decent goal scoring form this season. Maloney with 7 goals, started every game as defence, season, the number it goes out. Scarborough Athletic, Fracknell and Maloney both 34 appearances between them. Bill Gooder with 33, Sykes Kenworthy will go along with this goal kick. Looking for Jamie Spencer, who controls it nicely but can't quite keep hold of it, and Wiles gets it back to Burton, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Zoloni from Harrogate Town, Joe Cracknell, kept 8 clean sheets this season. Burton goes along looking for Colson, gets it down to Ashley Jackson down the line looking for Luca Colville, but didn't quite come off, but they still have the ball there with Kieran Glynn. Turns Hausenopper really nicely. Coming forward still, gets it out wide to Colson, back to Wiles, back to Colson now. Into Maloney now, under pressure from Jamie Spencer. Really nice passing here from Scarborough Athletic. Maloney tries to play it out wide, looking for Ashley Jackson, but in the end, too much on the passing. It has gone out from the throwing over on that far side. George Ezzy, an academy product. They've got a few tonight, trying to cope with the amount of injuries they've got, and Ezzy will go long. As it goes on, header flicked on our fielding, but Scarborough me with the ball and the pass forward. Luke Avin goes to clear and it strikes. Luke Colville back through to goalkeeper Sykes Kenworthy now takes his time to pick it up. Eventually does when under pressure from Michael Colson. Scarborough Athletic skipper. Sykes Kenworthy does go along in towards Ollie Johnson, who's got Bolton up against him. He wins it away really nicely after throwing it to Bradford Park Avenue on this near side. Charlton to take. And the line into Josh Hines. It's gone out for another throw in. The linesman gives it. Bradford Park Avenue, much to the anger of Scarborough Athletic coach Jonathan Greening. Nothing comes of the throw-in, straight through his hands, and Cracknell would balls it out quickly for Ashley Jackson, just about manages to keep it under control. Goes back to his left centre half, Burton. Tickling back to Burton. Out wide to Ashley Jackson now. Goes long, looking for the run of Luca Colville. It's a really nice pass, defended really well by Daniel Benson into George Eze. He was under pressure from Michael Colson. And in the end, has to concede the throw-in. Ashley Jackson to take on the far side, throws it quickly into Lewis Maloney. Back to Jackson. Strikes it against Brad Dockett and it's gone out for a throw-in to Bradford Park Avenue. Scarborough Athletic had originally tried to take it quickly. But referee Richard Holmes saying no, it wasn't. Bradford Park Avenue throwing George Eze to take now. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Sykes Kenworthy, who's got time to make his decision and goes long again. Looking for Dockett. Header won easily by Ashley Jackson. Headed away once more by Daniel Benson. Into Spencer, out wide too. Josh Hines on this near side, looking to stand up really good. He's done really well. Gets it to the overlap of Charlton. Tries to pull it back. In the end, it was in an area where no Bradford Park Avenue player was there, and it's cleared. And Luke Haven wins that up against Luca Colville. Sam Fielding now goes along. Brad Duckett is out there on that far side. Ashley Jackson heads it. Only as far as Harrison Hopper gets it into Jamie Spencer now. Out wide to George Eze. Back to Jamie Spencer. Just about gets there before Michael Colson. And it's all the way back now with goalkeeper Sykes Kenworthy. Bradford Park Avenue hoping to have a better time than Saturday, losing 2-1 in the last minute to Chester. Sykes Kenworthy goes along. In a good one's head, and it's cleared up. On this round, Luke Haven heads it down into Harrison Hopper now. Back to Haven, controls it with his chest and again goes long. And Scarborough happy to see that. Go all the way through to goalkeeper Cracknell, who runs it into his own box and picks it up. We've lost 2 home games in a row since they beat Leamington. They were 6 unbeaten at home before that. As Luca Colville comes forward now, gets it into the path of Alexander Wiles, but it's played out for the corner over on the far side. Scarborough Athletic. First of the match. Lewis Maloney going over to take it. Maloney, right-footed in swinger. It's in towards the back post where Goodrich heads it back in towards Walledge. It's headed up and Jackson came down for him and the strike was deflected. It came through all the way through for Sam Fielding. Couldn't quite get rid of it before it went out for another corner for Scarborough. Very threatening there. Ashley Jackson fizzing a strike towards goal. Took a number of deflections before going out for another corner. Scarborough. Left-footed in swinger in towards the back post where Ryan Poulter was waiting. In the end, it's gone through all the way through for Sykes Kenworthy. Just happy to see that one end up in his hands. Made sure he kept hold of it. Poulter there with a decent opportunity. Couldn't quite get the contact he wanted. Sykes Kenworthy will go along with it. Up towards Ollie Johnson. Headed away by Ashley Jackson into Michael Colson. Controls it under pressure, gets it back to the Scarborough Athletic midfielder who switches play out wide to Kieran Walledge. Gets it back to his right back, Kieran Bailey Gooder. And Charlton now can only head it into the path of Maloney into Colville coming forward. Walledge picks up the loose ball, goes down. The referee says no foul. Charlton just about clears it. Not brilliantly though into Kieran Glynn now. Under pressure from Harrison Hopper out wide. Lovely pass into looking for Walledge. Charlton did really well. First of all to head it away from the path of Walledge and then tackle and concede the third Scarborough corner. Starting to put Park Avenue under pressure now. Corner. Scarborough Athletic, 25 minutes gone, 0-0. It's in towards back post where Colter was waiting again. It's headed away, only as far as Maloney. We'll get it out wide to Colville again. Back to Maloney now. Space for him to put a ball in. Puts a really dangerous ball in towards Gilbert, and it's defended brilliantly out for another corner for Scarborough. What a brilliant touch that was at the back post from Jamie Spencer. It was a certain goal. Kieran Burton was lurking behind him. Remains 0-0. It's a brilliant ball in from Lewis Maloney, not closed down quick enough. And ball in towards the 6-yard box. And Burton was sure to put that into the empty net. And it is a fourth corner. Scarborough Athletic. 0-0. Lewis Maloney, right-footed in swinger to take it in towards the back post. Sykes Kenworthy comes out, does really well to keep hold of it and relieve the pressure on Bradford Park Avenue defence. Play of contenders pushing for that first goal. Again, where they will go long. Once again, looking for Ollie Johnson, headed away nicely by Gooder. It's come down to Jamie Spencer into Harrison Hopper, and there is a foul in there. It's Lewis Maloney who's gone down. Tackle from Jamie Spencer. It looked as though he might have gotten the ball, but did get the man as well. Foul, free kick for Scarborough Athletic. Halfway inside their own half. Maloney's back on his feet now without needing any treatment. The referee, Richard Holmes, will call James Spencer over. I believe it's only to have a word. It doesn't look like he's getting ready to book him, and no, he won't. James Spencer, they're avoiding relatively early booking as we're halfway through this first half. 0-0 here. About 27 minutes to go until half time. Cracknell goes long. Josh Hines defends it well, but his touch only goes as far as Bailey Gooder outlined to Aledji on this near side. Up against Charlton, gets past him nicely. Sanfield coming across, plays it nicely inside to Lucky Colville now. Under pressure from Hopper, gets it to Lewis Maloney. Really good tackle from Jamie Spencer there, and it's gone all the way back through to the goalkeeper. And Bradford Park Avenue bench are not happy with the challenge from Lewis Maloney. Jamie Spencer stayed down there, and he has got to his feet, limping slightly. Maloney trying to get one back there after the foul on him. Moments ago, Sam Fielding clears into the path of Josh Hines. Does really well up against Bailey Gooder, who manages just about keep the ball away from him, but it's come through to Ollie Johnson there on this near side. It's out for a throw-in for Scarborough. Josh Hines and Ollie Johnson do look like good spark something when they do get on the ball. Towards them hasn't been brilliant yet. It's mainly been a long ball from the goalkeeper or defenders. Aledji now in front of his own dugout, forward into Colville, wins it up against Charlton, cleared forward by Fielding. And Ryan Coulter will just head it back to his goalkeeper and picks it up. Goes long once more, looking for Colville. He's got Coulson in support, tries to play it down for Wiles. It's come through for into Dockey, who turns really well up against Burton there, into Fielding now, crosses the halfway line. Charlton now on this near side, up against Aledji. Plays it out wide, looking for Josh Hines. It's a poor pass. Sums up Bradford Park Avenue's night. That pass from Charlton there, really good turn from Dockey, under pressure from Kieran Burton. Really nice Cruyff turn just to get away from him. Wiles now into Aledji, clears it only as far as Colton. Forward pass dummied by Hopper, and Ollie Johnson couldn't quite find the supporting man. He's forward looking for Ashley Jackson. Bradford, he just about manages to head it back to his goalkeeper, whose clearance has found only Lewis Maloney now. Maloney turning, finding Wiles. Colville now to Coulson, back to Wiles. Jackson now forward for Michael Coulson, defended well by George Eze, throwing on the far side for Bradford back, for Scarborough, sorry. Header won by Bradford Park Avenue man from the throw-in. And he has stayed down here. Luca Haven. Deep challenge for the header there, and he has stayed down despite winning. It is a throw-in for Scarborough Athletic in a very similar place to where the first one was taken. Jackson still with the ball in his hands. Once more, they send him. The defender forward, Burton and Coulter going forward, just about to get into the box. Bradford Park Avenue have everyone back to defend. Kieran Glynn, the only one back for Scarborough. Throwing short into Maloney now, crosses it nicely. Headed by Ollie Johnson, only as far as Luke Haven. It's come down to Wiles here, space to cross or get the strike away. Defended really well, and just about cleared. Only as far as Lewis Maloney now. Scarborough have kept most of their players forward. Really good now on this near side. Under pressure, gets it out wide to Coulson. Coulson standing up, Louis Colton out wide to Aledji, back to Gooder. Chips it forward, looking. Wiles cleared Maloney now. Is it out wide over the top? Lovely pass into Ashley Jackson. Controls it nicely. Back onto his right foot. In towards Burton. Headed away really nicely by Luca Haven. And now Jamie Spencer challenging Walter for it. Trying to play the 1-2 with Kieran Ledgy on this right hand side. In a decent position, but he's gone out for a throw in. Bradford Park and Josh Hines with the ball in his hand, but leaves it for Louis Cholton now. 32 minutes gone. 0-0. Throwing on this near side, Louis Cholton goes along looking for Hines, headed nicely by Gooder, but only as far as Cholton, who loses out to Wiles, but it's bailed out of trouble by Luca Haven, who stayed down, and he's struggling to get back to his feet. The referee hasn't stopped play just yet. Scarborough Athletic come forward. He has got to his feet, limping now. The crossfield ball into the path of Michael Coulson, intercepted well by Cholton, but Luca Haven has gone down once again. How can you play it out for a throw-in? Bad news for Bradford Park Avenue. We get another possible injury. Luca Haven, the skipper, has gone down. Managed to get up momentarily, then went back to his feet. It doesn't look good for him. Went down earlier on in the match as well. Maybe it's the first substitution of the match for Bradford Park Avenue. James Spencer on this near side, coming across to have a word with the assistant on this near side, Samuel Clayton. Luke Haven now is still on his knees, getting treatment. He does get to his feet. You can't see any substitutes warming up for Bradford Park Avenue. And the referee's coming over onto this near side to have a word with Scarborough Athletic manager Greening, telling him to calm down. And Luke Haven, gingerly on his feet, will come over to the sideline. Have to wait and see if he is able to come back on. Coulson throws it back to Sykes Kenworthy, having just about manages to hobble back into play. See how long he can last. Maybe when he can run off, or maybe it's half time. Bradford Park Avenue will make that substitution. Sykes Kenworthy goes along now looking for Ollie Johnson. Can't win the header. Second ball is well won by Wiles now, and here he is. Forward pass. Really nice pass from Ricky Culver looking for Wiles. Putting Sanfield in pressure. He manages to clear it into Dockett. He turns really nicely. He's done that numerous times. Jamie Spencer now down the line looking for Ollie Johnson. Goes across. Ryan Qualter manages to get it back to his goalkeeper. Goes long. Looking for Coulson. Can't keep it in. Throwing on the far side. Bradford Park Avenue. For Park Avenue with a throw-in on the far side. George Ezzy to take as the rain starts to come down. Slightly heavier than it has done. And for most of the night. Sykes Kenworthy goes on looking for Brad Dockett. He manages to skim past. Jackson does really well. Shots inside him once more. Got players up in support, such as Josh Allen's a pass to him just behind him. And Lewis Maloney comes away with the ball now. Cholton thought about going and pressuring him, didn't. And Maloney goes on looking for Coulson. Up against Ezzy. Will he get to the second ball? He will. Stands Ezzy up. He's got Wiles in support. Michael Coulson now. Gets it back to Maloney on the edge of the box. Pressure from Hines. Maloney still on the ball now. Back to Ashley Jackson. Maloney again now. Forward into Wiles. Back to Kieran Glynn on this in the middle of the park now. Trying to skip away from Harrison Hopper. Gets it out wide to Waledji. Nice pass. Waledji controls well into the box now. Up against Louis Cholton now. He's got a player in support. Gets it back to a Gooder now. Tries to cross it towards the back post where Coulson is. And here he is. Coulson controls it nicely. Can he work the arc for a shot? Jamie Spencer tackles really well. It is cleared in the end by Eze. And there's a foul in there on the Bradford Park Avenue man. It's a free kick inside their own box. Bradford Park Avenue. The pressure was building there. Ball on this right hand side from Gooder. Held up slightly by the wind. Sykes again where they didn't come out to claim it. Knocked down into Michael Coulson, trying to work space for a shot. Tackled well by Jamie Spencer, and it's now a throw-in. Free kick, sorry. Bradford Park Avenue. 37 minutes gone, 0-0 at the Horsfall Stadium. Sykes Kenworthy with the free kick just on the edge of his box, just outside. Will go along with it as he has done for all of his free kicks and goal kicks tonight. Towards where the away fans are situated, looking for Ollie Johnson, headed away nicely by Kieran Burton. Throwing for Bradford Park Avenue on the right hand side. George Ezzy is going forward to take. As he takes it short to Doherty, who's been on the Bradford Park Avenue, who's brighter players, but he's lost out there. And look at Colville trying to come away with the ball, tries to play it down the line, goes out for a throw in for Bradford Park Avenue again. Doherty there losing the ball really for the first time in the match. He has been very good so far at skipping away from players who are putting him under pressure, namely Ashley Jackson and Kieran Burton, a couple of times each. George Benson with George Eze, with a throw in on the far side now. About 10 yards inside Scarborough's half, goes on looking for Ollie Johnson, who controls well. Back to Eze, but it's gone out for another throw in. It's frustrating for Bradford Park, and we can't really keep the ball in this final third. Scarborough take the throw quickly down the line into Michael Coulson. Controls nicely back to Ashley Jackson, back to Coulson. Turns really well, but he's tackled brilliantly by Brad Doherty. But is it infield nicely into Hopper now. Space to run into. Gets out wide to Brad Doherty again. Got support, skips away from his man, but then he's tackled by Michael Coulson. No foul. Coulson's got space on this far side with Kieran Welledge. Finds him. Plays it forward looking for Michael Coulson. Intercepted well by Charlton, but it's back with Welledge now. Luca Colville now gets it back to Maloney on the edge of the box. Crosses it towards the back post. Cleared away only as far as Glean, who goes for the half volley. 4 miles wide. Goal kick. Bradford Park Avenue. Approach the final 5 minutes of this half. Scarborough haven't really had many opportunities. The biggest one forced a really good interception from Jamie Spencer, who knocked out for a corner. Besides that, Sykes Kenworthy hasn't really had a shot to make so far. Scarborough being limited to shots from outside the box, and Sykes Kenworthy gets ready to go along with his goal kick again. Sykes Kenworthy looking. Jamie Spencer won by Qualter. Second ball is headed back towards the Scarborough defence, and it's knocked back down for Jamie Spencer now. Finding Louis Charlton on this left hand side. He's got options backwards. Uses one with Jamie Spencer now. Under pressure from Colville, goes for the crossover ball, looking for Brad Doherty, who had made the run. Didn't manage to get hold of the ball, but he is offside anyway. On the far side, Wacker, Ahmed, flagging against Brad Doherty there. He'd managed to get in behind his centre half, but Ashley Jackson did come across and deal with them. Cracknell goes along. Header won by Daniel Benson on as far as Qualter. Benson wins a second header. Good now going forward looking for Colville. Headed away by Haven. Seems to be fine after picking up an injury. Really nice pass from Glean out wide to Welledge now up against Charlton. Looking to beat him. Manages to just get past him to the byline. Trips it in towards the back post, and it's out for a goal kick again. Welledge there. Looks to have the beating of Charlton. Got to the byline, tried to dink it towards the back post. Couldn't keep it in play. as the rain continues to get heavier here on this Monday night. The only action from the National League North. Bradford Park Avenue can climb out the relegation zone. They have to win to do so, up into 19th, depending on goal difference. They'd go level with Blythe Spartans as Alex Wiles comes forward here, looking to play it over the top for Colson, and Henson let it bounce. In the end, it's cleared away. For corner on this near side, another corner for Scarborough, the fifth of the game, fifth of this half. And Park Avenue yet to have one. Colville to take, left-footed in swinger. Josh Hines, the only one forward for Bradford Park Avenue, keeping two players back for Scarborough. Colville goes towards back post, while Leggy is cleared away nicely by Haven. Only as far as Maloney now. It's got Ashley Jackson in support, uses it. Jackson forward looking for Colson, poor pass. Harrison Hopper clears it forward to nobody. Kieran Glynn picks up the loose ball easily in Scarborough. Another ball back. Glynn tries the crossfield pass. It comes through to Alex Wiles now. Into Colville. He's got Walleggi outside him. Into the box now. Gets to the byline. Cuts back onto his left foot. Under pressure from Charlton. Does really well to hold him up. Into Bailey Gooder on the overlap. Charlton again going across to try and deal with it. Gooder now. Gets to the byline. And Charlton prevents cross from going in. And it's another corner for Scarborough. Colville will take this one on the right hand side, left-footed in swinger once again. Josh Hines, the only one forward. The only one back is Kieran Glynn for Scarborough. And Ashley Jackson now is going back. Try and mark Josh Hines out. Corner is a poor one towards the back post where nobody was lurking. Wiles does get there before Luke Haven now. He's got options backwards. In Maloney, here he is. Crosses it. A decent ball in towards Kieran Burton. The header is flicked on towards Colville at the back post, who was offside. It's a free kick for Bradford Park Avenue. So we approach the final minute of normal time. 0-0. You think there might be 1 or 2 minutes added on here. We've had a couple of injuries. So it's Kennedy taking his time with this free kick. Kenworthy goes along again, looking for Ollie Johnson. Can he win the header? He can. Flicks on nicely into Josh Hines, who controls it really nicely. Back to Charlton now. Under pressure, his pass deflected into the path of Kieran Glynn, who tries to knock one forward. Ollie Johnson blocks it. Throwing for Bradford Park Avenue on this near side. Walleggi to take. Walleggi forward, looking for Colville, runs through to Luke Haven, cleared into Jamie Spencer. Clears it down the line, looking for Josh Hines, intercepted well. Forward, Luke Haven, challenging for it, knocks it out. There will be 3 minutes added on at the end of this first half. Throwing for Scarborough on this near side. Taken quickly, Luke Haven clears it nicely. Ollie Johnson looking for Harrison Hopper. Cleared by Walleggi into path of Michael Colson. Can he keep it in on this right side up against Charlton? Does well to keep it in Colson here. He's got options back, turns Charlton nicely. It has gone out. He did play it in towards the box and it was tucked away nicely, but it had gone out for a throw in for Bradford Park Avenue. Charlton just about doing enough. Charlton with a throw-in on this right-hand side. Down the line looking for Ollie Johnson. Gooder wins the header only as far as Sanfield and clears it out. For throwing for Scarborough Athletic just next to the home dugout. Walleggi tries to take it quickly, tries to get in a few yards. Referee tells us to go backwards, goes down the line looking for Michael Colson. Luke Alvin coming across to try shepherd it out for a corner, goal kick, and he's won a foul. A push on his back there from Michael Colson. The referee is calling them over to have a word with him. It doesn't look like he is going to book him, and no, he doesn't. Free kick right near the corner flag. Bradford Park Avenue. Sykes Kenworthy, the goalkeeper, will go long again with it. Kenworthy looking for Ollie Johnson, can't win the header, it's knocked down for Sam Fielding. Goes forward again, Brad Docherty trying to get onto the loose ball in behind. Goes through to the goalkeeper, Cracknell. Himself will look to go long. And he does in towards, looking for Colville, flicks on nicely into Colson, up against Haven, gets there before Haven. Colson now in the box, a dangerous position, back to looking for Colville. Knocked away for a throw in by Harrison Hopper. Throwing over on the far side for Ashley Jackson. Once again, Bradford Park Avenue have everybody back but Josh Hines, who's on the edge of his own box. Kieran Glynn, the only one back for Scarborough, as Josh Hines does go towards the halfway line. Ashley Jackson goes long, looking for Burton, headed away on the edge of the box. Cholton challenging Wiles for it. It's coming to Josh Hines now, and there's half time. 0-0 here. You'd think I was probably happy with the two sides holding player hopeful Scarborough. 0-0 at half time is not bad. Scarborough dominated the ball. Bradford Park haven't really managed to make the goalkeeper Cracknell work. Now there's George Sykes Kenworthy have much to do. It's half time here at the Horsforth Stadium. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Scarborough 0. Hi there everybody and welcome back to the offshore stadium as we get ready for this second half between Bradford Park Avenue and Scarborough Athletic. Only the one change from either side at half time. Miles Labastide has come on for Ollie Johnson, not sure whether that's injury or a tactical substitution. Luke Alvin, who looked to have gone down with an injury about 30 odd minutes in that first half, has come out for the second half and we are underway here. Scarborough will get us underway. Kicking from right to left towards their own fans. Attendance tonight is 736. There looks to be a good amount of Scarborough fans who've made the trip from the East Coast. 74.9 miles separating the two stadiums. 24 points and 19 places separating them in terms of the league. There's a throw-in for Scarborough on this near side. In towards the box from Ashley Jackson. Headed out for a goal kick. First goal kick of the second half for either side. Sykes Kenworthy looking to go along with it. Scarborough going for 3 wins in a row. They're 3 unbeaten. The last time they went 4 unbeaten was back in early November. Last year he needed 62 points for playoffs, 81 points to finish second and 88 for first. Scarborough looking to finish in those places as Quality wins ahead and goes along. But it's come through to Labastide. His first touches of the game on this near side under pressure, but does well to just about keep hold of the ball. Gets it back to Eze, who goes along looking for Josh Hines. Can't quite control it. Quality heads away. Sam Fielding gets the second ball, but it's come through for Kieran Glynn now. Out wide to Kieran Waleji on the far side. Gets it infield to Kieran Glynn now. Running forward. Manchester, or at least looking to slip from Michael Colson. Goes down under the challenge. And it is a free kick right on the edge of the box here for Scarborough Athletic. Dangerous position. Michael Colson was brought down there. There were big appeals from the fans behind the goal, and the referee, Richard Holmes, immediately giving one. He hasn't brandished the yellow card as of far today, and he still hasn't done so. 2 places over the ball. Michael Colson won the free kick, and Lewis Maloney, the top 2 scorers for Scarborough Athletic. Lewis Maloney has looked really good on the ball, but Michael Colson has also looked dangerous throughout. Colson looking to get his 15th of the season. Lewis Maloney looking for his 8th. He hasn't scored since Flied, and it will be Maloney into the wall, headed away really nicely by the wall there, and Lewis Maloney's 7-game drought continues, at least for now. Throwing on this near side for Scarborough Athletic. Scarborough throwing on this near side. Once again, Ashley Jackson to take. They have loaded the box up. Only Josh Hines is forward. For Park Avenue, the ball in towards. Good, headed away only as far as Qualter heads it back in towards the box. Headed away. Not very far by Daniel Benson, and it has gone out for a corner. First of the second half, and Scarborough Athletics 7th of the match. Colville has gone over to take it. He's taking it quickly into Lewis Maloney now. Space to get across and gets it back to Colville. Into the box now. Cuts back under pressure from Charlton into Maloney. Passes decent in towards the back post where Kieran Burton is waiting. Tries to get his left foot strike. Back across goal out for a goal kick. Burton there couldn't quite wrap his foot around it. .48 minutes gone. 0-0 here at the Horsfell Stadium. Sykes Kenworthy getting jeered by the Scarborough Athletic supporters behind that goal. Goes long once again. Looking for Brad Docherty, who's switched wings. He were on the right hand side in the first half. He's now on the left. There's a foul in there. Nice Sam Fielding on Alex Wiles. Free kick taken quickly by Lewis Maloney into a ledge on that far side, who caused Park Avenue and Charlton all sorts of problems. Colville now coming forward, skips his way into the box on his left foot. Dummies it, gets it to Alex Wiles on the edge of the box, back to Maloney. Out wide to Olegie now. Forward into Colville, whose backheel passes blocked by Charlton out for a throw-in on the far side, and another chance for Scarborough to load the box. I wonder what sort of message Jonathan Greenham would have given his players at half time. He stated they didn't play the best game on Saturday. They have been the better of the two sides tonight. Throw-ins taken in towards Kieran Burton in the box, headed away nicely by Luke Havin, and the striker on the edge of the box is blocked. Luke's up in the air, and Bradford Park Avenue failed to really clear it, but it's come through to Sykes Kenworthy anyway. Brilliant defending there from Bradford Park Avenue. Let the ball bounce. Sykes Kenworthy claimed. Ball out quickly to George Ezzy on this near side. Under pressure from Coulson. Infield to Benson, the Barnsley loanee brought in just this past week to try and deal with the injury crisis. Miles Bastide couldn't quite keep the ball in on this near side, and it is a throw-in for Scarborough Athletic in front of the Park Avenue dugout. You also wonder what manager Mark Bauer was saying to his players, whether they want more the same or more attacking threat. Burton goes long on this near side. Bastide shoved to the floor by Jackson, wins the header, no foul. Cleared by Benson, forward looking for Jamie Spencer. Coulter comes out, deals with it. Wiles gets it nicely outside. Kieran Waleji down the line into Colville now, looking to take on Louis Charlton. Brad Tucker, he's come back to try deal with it. Colville spins inside, still on the ball, skips away from Jamie Spencer, forward into Kieran Glynn. And Colville trying to win the challenge there. Alex Wiles our space. And there's the box of the strike. It's deflected. Almost came through for Coulson. Ashley Jackson there with a striker cross goal. Just about saved, but there is an offside in there. Bradford Park Avenue have two players down. Harrison Opera is down, as well as who looks to be Jamie Spencer. Harrison Opera just about getting to his feet, and he looks fine. Comes over the slant link, looks as though he will be able to walk it off. As Matt Bauer sends out a few players to warm up. He hasn't sent out his assistant Daniel Boschel yet, who yesterday signed a non-paying contract to ensure that Bradford Park Avenue had enough players to play this game. 0-0. About 6 minutes gone in the second half here. Sykes Kenworthy goes long. Coulter wins the header. Jamie Spencer wins the second ball, knocking it forward into Josh Hines. He's managed to get in behind, but Leggy comes back. Josh Hines on the edge of the box, goes for the strike. It's a decent save from Cracknell. That's the first save he's had to make. Josh Hines doing really well there. Bright play, and Cracknell's throw it to this near side, puts Jackson under pressure and gets it back to Burton. Under pressure from Bastide, has to go long. Sam Fielding can only flick the header on, but he's managed to come away with the second ball. Goes forward looking for Bastide, who is offside, and there is free kick for Scarborough. Cracknell there with the first save of the match for himself. Josh Hines managed to get in behind, managed to get in between the fullback and the defender, and his strike from the edge of the box, low and hard. Decent save from Cracknell, but you'd expect him to make it. As Maloney's on the ball now, there's appeals for a foul on Luke Havin, waved away by the referee. Colville, lovely passing behind, looking for Waleji, but intercepted really nicely by Charlton. Fielding now into Charlton on that left-hand side. Infield to Harrison Opera. Already, Bradford Park Avenue have been more positive this half than they were for most of that first half. Forward pass looking for Hines. Can't get on it. Back to goalkeeper. Cracknell clears it into Ashley Jackson. Forward looking for Coulson. Header won by Luke Havin. Jackson then wins the second ball, but it's come through for Harrison Opera's touch. Just allowed Kieran Burton to get in there ahead of him. He's coming forward now. Burton tries to play it infield. Intercepted easily by Benson. Bastide can't keep it in. Throw in for Scarborough in front of the dugout. Matt Bauer did say after the defeat to Chester he didn't know what sort of team they'd be able to put out tonight. They have managed to put one out, and they're doing a decent job so far. Scarborough haven't really managed to get any clear-cut chances, and Scarborough hasn't really been called into action much. In fact, I think the only save of the match is that Cracknell one from Hines just a moment ago. The throw-in is in towards Colville, headed away by Havin. The second ball's won by Coulter, and then Fielding heads away, only tries Burton on the edge of the box. Striker was blocked. Coulter now from the edge of the box goes for it with the right foot, saved easily by Sykes Kenworthy. Straight at him, looping into his hands. 54 minutes gone, 0-0 at the Horsfell Stadium. Bradford Park Avenue have picked up 21 points at home, 21 out of their 33 so far this season, so they've been better at home than they have been on their travels, but won a home game since Leamington, and there is a first substitution of the match for Scarborough. It is Ashley Jackson who's going to come off for Daniel Greenfield, who did start the game on Saturday. Throwing for Scarborough Athletic on this near side. Kieran Burton looking for Greenfield. Head of the way only as Maloney, who heads it into the path of Jamie Spencer, who knocks it forward in a good air, who clears. And the ball is up in the air once again, but Brad Dockett brings it down nicely under pressure from Woledji. Brad Dockett manages to knock it past him, but then gets fouled by Greenfield. Looked as though Woledji had that under control, but Greenfield shrugged into the floor. There is a foul in there, in a decent position for Bradford Park Avenue. Decent position across it. Hopper and Spencer currently stood over the ball. Dockett, he gets to his feet. No problem there. Avenue will take this free kick with Jamie Spencer in front of the dugout, about 15 yards inside their own half. They opts to go short to Harrison Hopper instead of knocking it into the box. Was that a good decision? Hopper, lovely ball over the top to Haven, who controls it really nicely and knocked it forward, cleared away well. Louis Charlton will see it out for a throw in on the far side. Scarborough coming off the back of a 4-1 victory on Saturday, beating Leamington. This is Bradford Park Avenue's 4th game in 10 days, the 3rd in a row at home. Scarborough Athletic looking for back-to-back promotion after they were promoted from the non-league Premier Northern Division last year. Lewis Maloney now finding Woledji on the far side as Scarborough Athletic come away with the ball. Nice into Woledji. There's a really nice pass out to this near side, but Spencer does really well to get something on it. But Coulson gets it back to Qualter, outward to Burton on this near side. Going forward, intercepted well by Eze into Hines, knocks it to the Bastide, and Hopper now with time and space on the ball to come forward. There's the shot for man on from Greenfield, but it looks as though he fouled him, and there is another foul from Greenfield in a very similar position Bradford Park Avenue had previously. Bradford Park Avenue unhappy, they want to take that quickly. Jamie Spencer throwing his arms in the air, but it looked as though Hines weren't going to get the ball up against Maloney, so they will be happy to take the free kick. Will they go short to Hopper again? Or knock it long into the box? 57 minutes gone, 0-0. Spencer stood over it. He hasn't got the option shot, so he does knock it towards back post where Fielding is. Headed away nicely. Wiles looking to get to the second ball. Dockett, he gets there first and wins the tackle, but Wiles does really well to keep hold of the ball into Burton, who finds Glynn, who's found a pocket of space, skips away from his man. Heavy touch up against Fielding. Goes down. No foul. Manager Matt Bauer wanted a foul on Fielding there. There wasn't much in that. Cracknell now with the ball for Scarborough. Goes long. Glynn. That's the tackle. Jamie Spencer tries to play it out wide to George Eze on this near side. Throwing for Scarborough. Coulson to take. Throws it back to Maloney. Here's Glynn again. Out on this left hand side is Coulson. Plays a nice ball back into Glynn, who gets to the byline, pulls it back. Colville was there, but he is offside. Colville was there with no man marking him. Would have had an easy strike to make it 1-0, but the return pass from Coulson into Glynn, who was offside, for Park Avenue survive. Sykes come with it with the free kick. Goes long towards Bastide up against Burton. Bastide controls it, but Burton manages to get the better of him into Greenfield and knocks it out. Throwing on this near side. George Eze to take. Scarborough Athletic managed 57 points from there. 34 games, winning 16 games. They're currently 4th in the table. They've scored 61 times. Still conceded 51 times. So they are a team that relies on outscoring the opponent. As Welledge comes forward with the ball on the right hand side there, under pressure from Hopper, goes down the line into Colville, who himself is under pressure from Cholton, plays it infield into Glynn, who's got lots of space to pick out the pass. Kieran Burton now crosses the halfway line. Nice ball forward into Greenfield, space now, looking to take on Sam Fielding, gets it into Wiles. Out on the right side is Welledge, gets it back to Maloney, who's balling, he's headed away by Fielding, out for a corner for Scarborough, the second of this second half, 8th of the game. Bradford Park Avenue yet to have a corner themselves. Bradford Park Avenue have started the second half, the better of the two sides, you'd say. 60 minutes played, 0-0. Colville to take. Left-footed in swinger on that right-hand side. It's a decent ball inside him where they don't come out. Gavin heads it away, back to Colville. Heads it back in, deflecting in towards Colson. It might drop for him again. The second ball cleared nicely. Maloney now on the ball still. Out wide to Wiles now, looking to take on Labastide. Skips past him, gets into the box now. Left-footed cross towards back post is poor. Lands on the roof of the net, 0-0. As the rain continues to pour down here. No sign of that letting up. For Bradford Park Avenue, we hope the pressure from Scarborough will let up as they have a goalkeeper, Sykes Kenworthy. Just under half an hour to go here, 0-0. Last season, Scarborough managed to get 74 points in their promotion winning campaigns. Already on 57 with about 8 games left to go. Throwing for Scarborough on this near side, Burton to take. Goes long. Into Colson, looking to flick it on into Greenfield, but it's out for a throw-in. Again for Bradford Park Avenue. Eze to take. This near side. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Sykes Kenworthy. Goes long, looking for Dockett or Hines, finds none of them. Fielding wins the loose ball. The Bastide now trying to knock it back to Spencer. Intercepted, and now Greenfield with the ball goes back to his goalkeeper, Cracknell. Hines putting him under pressure. First time pass looking for Glynn, headed away Labastide. And just to get away from one defender, but Burton is there, who wins the throw-in on this near side. Burton to take again. Takes it quickly into Good, who's controlling great, but manages to find Qualter. On the far side with Qualter, who himself goes long, looking for Colson, who gets knocked to the floor, no foul. And Fielding comes away with the ball, skips past the challenge really nicely. Under pressure still though, gets it down the line. That'll go all the way through for goalkeeper. Under pressure from Hopper. He didn't have time to let it roll into his box to pick it up. Goes on looking for Greenfield, but that's out for a throw-in on the near side for Bradford Park Avenue. Avenue, the throw-in on this near side as he goes back to his goalkeeper, who goes along. Just about crosses the halfway line, but Wiles picking up the loose pass after pushing Bradford Park Avenue man away from it, but Greenfield skips past Fielding, but his touch allowed Eze to nip in, get the ball. Fielding now. Greenfield to Hopper. Shouts for man on. Under pressure from Colville, who's managed to win the ball up against Dockett. Maloney now coming forward, fed by Welledge. Maloney on the right hand side, crosses it. It's a decent cross / shot. Sykes Kenworthy deals with it. Spilt it initially. Kept hold of the ball at the second time of asking. Sykes Kenworthy's played every game so far this season for Bradford Park Avenue. He's the only player to do that so far. Luca Haven and Sam Fielding, both on 33 appearances before tonight. Throwing on the near side for Bradford Park Avenue, Eze to take it 0-0 as we enter the 66th minute here at the Horsfall Stadium. Forward into Hines, can't keep hold of it. Sam Fielding challenging. Kieran Glynn for it, gone through to go to him, goes back to his goalkeeper who goes long. Fielding wins the header. Coulter clears the second ball into Greenfield, who controls well, and he is fouled by George Eze on the halfway line. Scarborough Athletic free kick. George Eze there with the foul. Maloney stood over it. Tries a crossfield pass into a legend. Doherty can't manage to get any decent contact on it. Gone through for a throw in on the far side. Scarborough Athletic. Leggy into Coulson. Leggy back to Coulson. Back to Leggy, trying to work space for the cross. Coulson does in the end cross it. Doherty blocks it. Throw in again. Throwing on the far side. Scarborough Athletic here. Leggy goes short to Colville. Back to Leggy, back to Colville now. He's got space. He's found a press. He's got Burton on this near side. In the end, goes to the strike from about 35 yards. Easily goes wide. So it's Kenworthy now with the goal kick. Again, like I mean, we were going to go along with it. They have been going along with pretty much every set piece and goal kick they've had. Slight tactical change. Previous home games, they have tried to play out from the back, but that's been against teams slightly lower down the division. But playing for Scarborough Athletic, you'd think you'd be able to put them under more pressure. Hit the ball off. Sykes Kenworthy does go along, but Coulter wins the head up against Hines as he has done for all the night. Coulson then winning the second ball, but he's fouled. Luke Haven there, who's stayed down. It didn't look to be a great deal in challenge. Free kick for Bradford Park. I mean, pretty central, out 15 yards outside their own box. I'm not sure whether they are going to get treatment on them or not, but Scarborough Athletic are going to make a second substitution there as Alexander Wiles departs with Jake Charles. Wiles, who has looked decent on the ball tonight, caused a few problems, replaced by Jake Charles, a second substitution for Scarborough, third of the match. The only one for Bradford Park Avenue, Bastide, who's come on for Ollie Johnson. And Daniel Greenfield for Ashley Jackson in between those two substitutions. 68 minutes gone, 0-0. Sykes Kenworthy goes along, looking for Doherty. Zerda flicking it on, looking for Hopper. Leggy clears. Haven then, Fielding, sorry, was then fouled, going for the ball. Colville. Free kick back for back and new inside Scarborough's half. Fielding looks as though it will be him to take it. He won it and he will take it. Bastide over on this near side, finding the long option. Look, Haven's also gone up. They've got 4 players on the edge of the box. Fielding looking for Haven. The keeper comes out, only punches it away. So he might have been able to caught that. Greenfield keeps it in on this near side. Look at the skip past James Spencer and it's gone out for a throw in for Bradford Park Avenue. Eze into the Park Avenue dugout into Hopper. Back to Eze under pressure from Greenfield. Wins a tackle. It's gone out for another throw in Bradford Park Avenue. Eze, who himself is an academy graduate, goes on looking for Bastide. Knocked out for another throw in by Coulter. third throw in for Bradford Park Avenue in quick succession. I'll be able to get this into the box or go down the line once more. Into Hopper now. Under pressure from Greenfield, turns away nicely. Space for the cross now. Does cross it. Cracknell just about manages to deal with it. And then the end goes along himself. Looking for Charles. Doesn't quite get his first touch of the game. Look at him defending really nicely. Greenfield now picking up the second ball, coming forward. Under pressure from Bastide, goes back to Maloney. Gets it out wide to Alegi now. Maloney again. Into Colville. Forward into the Alegi. Really nice pass, but he can't quite get there, and it's gone out for another goal kick. Really nice forward pass from Colville there into Alegi. Made a run in behind Chalk and couldn't quite get there. It looked as though he might have done at one point. It's gone out for another goal kick. Max Kenworthy will go along with it. 70 minutes played, 0-0. To be a decent point. Well, a very good point for Bradford Park Avenue, but teams around them do have points and games in hand, so they need to start winning these games so they can try and nick it. They have been struggling of late. Balto winning header from the goal kick out wide. Now with Greenfield under pressure from Hopper, looking to get away with from him. Gets it forward to Colson, trying to turn Benson, gets it back to Glynn. Space to look for the pass now. Under pressure though from Sam Fielding into Colville. Into the box, back to Glynn. Into Maloney now. Glynn again. Forward to Colville. Nice give and go. Glynn keeps going, skips across the challenges inside the box now. Tries to get to the byline, maybe it's for the cross. Good tackle from Housen Hopper, and it's a throw in on the far side for Scarborough as they push to find this opening goal. Leggy on the far side, scored two opening goals. Scarborough's 4-1 victory on Saturday. Maloney now on the edge of the box, goes for the long range effort. It's a brilliant save from Sykes Kenworthy. About 25-30 yards from goal there, Maloney. It did look as though he might have tried to pass. Then he went for the shot. Sykes Kenworthy had to go back the other way to the right hand side of his own goal. Parried it out for another corner. 9th lead of the game for Scarborough. Bradford Park Avenue yet to have one. Seen by Maloney in towards the back post, and it's just about caught by Sykes Kenworthy, who stays down. But does get to his feet eventually, along with Jamie Spencer. Did well to hold that. Sykes Kenworthy will keep score at 0-0. Looking for his 7th clean sheet of the season. Cracknell looking for his 9th. Colson now into Greenfield. Scarborough coming forward here. Greenfield skips past Benson. Really nice footwork to get away from the Bastide, and then finds a really nice pass out wide to Colville. Just now manages to get control of it, and there is a free kick on the edge of the box for Scarborough. Colville tackled there by Ducky. It was a definite free kick. It looks as though there will be the first yellow card of the match for either side. We'll go to Brad Ducky. It were a foul right on the edge of the box, just about on the edge of the box. A yard or two further in, it would have been a penalty. They've got a few players stood over this one. Last time they had a free kick in a similar position, when Maloney took it straight into the wall. Maloney's left it. And Colson and Colville stood over it. Only player forward for Park Avenue is Hines. Scarborough have 2 men back, Glynn and Greenfield. Colville stood over it. Maloney is the option short on the edge of the box. Colville takes it over the wall and over the net. Goal kick. Disappointing. Really difficult one. With the ball being so close to the goal to get it up and down in time. Goal kick for Park Avenue. Just over 15 minutes to go, 0-0. Park Avenue looking to hold on for a well-earned point. Scarborough pushing for an opener to take back all three to the East Coast. Alex Kenworthy goes along. Qualter challenging Hopper for it. Hopper wins the second ball after Qualter initially won the header. It's a nice pass forward into Josh Hines. Gooder does well to come across and deal with it, but he's under pressure from Hopper. He's done well to keep hold of the ball, but he's tackled now. Hines and Hopper. Hopper now under pressure from Gooder. Right next to the corner flag. Manages to just about get it back to Jamie Spencer into Fielding. Under pressure from Colville. Fielding out wide to Labastide on this near side. Looking to take on Burton. Cuts inside him. Gets it to Hopper. And Labastide has gone down here and there is a foul given. Labastide initially went down. Labastide has stayed down. Labastide gave it to Hopper. Labastide wanted the return pass. He went down. The free kick was given right on the edge of the box in a crossing position on this right hand side. Manager Matt Bowie is not happy. He has gone all the way down to have a word with the assistant on this near side, Sam Clayton. Bradford Park Avenue's first really good set piece of this second half. Kevin Glynn weren't happy with that decision. He's still protesting it. Bastide still on the ground, but he has been helped up by Jamie Spencer. Scarborough, two men forward in Colville and Coulson. Meaning that Hopper, Eze and Cholton are back. Bastide has gone back down. The Scarborough bench are not happy with this. The referee points his watch to make sure they know that he is adding time on for that. But Bastide now getting treatment. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Scarborough Athletic 0. 77 minutes gone as Labastide gets to his feet. Only came on at half time. I will really be unhappy if he has to sub off his substitution. Jamie Spencer is the one stood over this free kick. Labastide's been forced to go to the sideline. Bradford Park Avenue are getting ready to make another substitution, and they will make one here. Scarborough bench really not happy that they are wasting more time. Will be Zach Kersey, another academy player, getting ready to come on. Manager Jonathan Greening just having a word with the linesman on this near side, and it is Zach Kersey who's coming on for Labastide. And they are having to sub the substitution. Another injury, not good news at all for Bradford Park Avenue. Their injury list gets bigger and bigger, and finally the free kick, Jamie Spencer takes it. It's not a great one and it's cleared at the front post, but Harrison Hopper gets the second ball, but Colville latches onto his interception. Crossfield ball into Coulson, controls it brilliantly in behind George Eze, but Eze does really well to recover and clear with the help of Sam Fielding. Throwing on this near side for Scarborough. Back and you won't be happy that Scarborough managed to get out so easily. The ball in from Jamie Spencer off that free kick was really poor. Greenfield now playing infield to Maloney, 20 yards inside. Bradford Park Avenue half. Brad Docherty putting Willedge under pressure, does really well to get the ball. And Willedge challenging for it, and it has gone out for a throw into Bradford Park Avenue on that far side as we approach final 10 minutes. Willedge now playing the 1-2 with Colville. Colville on the ball, tackled well by Docherty and he's kept it in. Willedge trying to come back. Docherty still on the ball. Plays it infield into Spencer. Tries to knock one out onto this first side where Zach Kersey picks it up for his first touch of the match. Plays it down the line for Josh Hines. Manages to get past Bailey Gooder. Really good and recovers really well though. Tackles, knocks it back to Burton who clears as he sees it out for a throw-in on this near side for Bradford Park Avenue. Bradford Park Avenue are looking dangerous. Scarborough Athletic aren't as dominant on the ball as they were in that first half. As it goes down the line, it's not a great throw-in. Dealt with. Colson now challenging Benson for it, who clears. First time, only as far as Kieran Willegy in the right back position for Scarborough, knocks it back to Maloney. Skips in field. James Spencer Maloney has been very good tonight into his midfield partner of Kieran Glynn. Up against Hopper, coming forward now into Colville. Colville cuts in field into Maloney now. About 30 yards from goal. Kieran Glynn again forward into Colville, trying to turn his man. Intercepted well. Zach Kersey tries to get away there up against Burton. It looks as though he has committed a foul, non-given. Charles now forward, out wide to Greenfield now. Chops inside, good tackle from Kersey, but it's come through for Burton, nearly cleared away by Ezeomi as far as Glynn. Bit of pressure here from Scarborough. Greenfield now on this near side up against Kersey, skips in field. Glynn again, knocks it towards back post, sails out for a goal kick. And Harrison Hopper has gone down. It looks as though he's struggling, maybe with a little bit of cramp. A bit more time wasting from Bradford Park Avenue. I just wonder how they're going to have to make another substitution. Harrison Hopper is back onto his feet. Looks as though he might be able to run it off. Hopper has played 29 times. His 30th appearance tonight. Scored a goal recently against Leamington. 22-year-old. Sykes Kenworthy he goes along with his goal kick. Looking for Hopper. Header won by Qualter. Sam Fielding wins the second ball into Hines. It's come through to Hopper now. He's got Kersey up with him. It's a good block from Gooder, but it's gone out for a throw-in on this near side for Park Avenue. As they're coming across to take it again. 0-0. And Eze is going to get booked here. With the referee, a second booking of the match for Bradford Park Avenue. George Eze. He wondered what it was for. He thought it was a free kick. And so was knocking the ball into play where he thought the free kick was, and he takes the throw in. Headed away by Greenfield. Fielding into Dockett, looking at turning. He does so well. Standing up Willegy. Dockett with space to strike. Good save in the second ball. Can he get to his feet before Cracknell gets there? No, he can't. Decent opportunity. A very good opportunity for Dockett there as the goalkeeper Cracknell goes along looking for Colville. He just managed to get away from his man there. Did really well to get past Willegy and Qualter. His strike saved well. And then his second strike just scuffed it. And fell. And Cracknell was able to pick up the second ball as Scarborough come forward now on the left-hand side. Greenfield in towards Colson. It's gone all the way through to the goalkeeper. It was Charles who was in there looking to not come past just about. Couldn't get there. Any form of contact, and you'd have thought it was most likely a goal for Scarborough. Another late goal would have been at Bradford Park Avenue conceded. Saxon with it goes along, header won by Gooder. Fielding knocks it into Hopper now. He's got one man up with him in form of Hines, gets it back to Doherty. Hopper on the left hand side, fouled in a decent position for Bradford Park Avenue, and it is going to be a first booking of the match for Scarborough. Over on that left hand side for Kieran Glynn. Was a definite foul on Hopper, who managed to turn him and get away from him. 0-0. Sam Fielding going over to take the free kick. Hopper has stood over it as well, but he has left it for Fielding now. Got men forward. Luke Evans gone forward as well as Benson. It's in towards Haven at the back post. He knocks it back towards the 6-yard box. And in the end, Burton got something on it. It's gone out for a corner. Bradford Park Avenue's first of the game. Second until the last 10 minutes to get that. Very, very good ball in from fielding. Got it all the way to the back post and Haven knocked it back. Knocked out for a corner. Park Avenue. Been conceding a few late goals recently. See if they can score one and take the lead for the first time in this match for either team. Hopper's going over to take it. It's in towards the goalkeeper who claims it easily. Rolls it quickly. It's Kieran Glynn coming forward now. His pass is well defended by Luca Haven up against Colville, but Harrison Hopper can't quite keep control of the second ball. But Kersey does tackle, finds Josh Hines. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. In front of the dugout. Throw in for Scarborough. Bradford Park Avenue. It's past 10-15 minutes. Have a look at the more likely side. Forced Joe Cracknell into a couple of saves. Colton now wins header, flicking on into Greenfield now. He's just about managed to get into the box, pulls it back nicely. To come out to Lewis Maloney on the edge of the box, strikes it over. Maloney leaning back there, first time strike. Always bouncing. The wet surface. Skidded off his foot out for a goal kick. Scarborough wanting back Avenue understandably to hurry up here. They're in no rush, Sykes Kenworthy. Nil-nil at the Oswald Stadium. Interesting to see how much time is added on by the referee Richard Holmes. Sykes Kenworthy goes long. Looking for Harrison Hopper up against Coulter. Coulter heads it away into Colville. Knocks it down nicely for Kieran Glynn. Tries to chip it forward into Folsom, who'd managed to get the ball. The referee's blown up for a foul there. It was a foul on him. Kieran Glynn's not happy with that because one of the advantage players, you can understand Colson had managed to control it nicely and had options on his right. Free kick Scarborough, just inside. Bradford Park Avenue's out. Maloney gets out wide to Greenfield now. Up against Kersey. Cuts inside. He's in the box here. Might be in a decent place to strike it. He does strike it. It's deflected out. George Eze now comes over the ball, clears it. Tries to knock it down the line. Gone out for a throw in. Maloney on this near side for Scarborough. Throws it to Burton to take. 0-0. Head towards the final minutes. Charles knocks it on the corner for Colson, who's gotten into the box, plays it towards the back post, cleared away really nicely. Spencer then tries to find Dockett with the header. He's only found Colville on the edge of the box now. Decent position for cross. Skips away from a couple of men, finding Kieran Glynn. He's got space. Will he go for the strike? He's being closed down now. Glynn tackled really nicely by Hopper. Spencer just about gets to the second ball and knocks it down the line. And Glynn makes sure it only goes out for a throw-in. If they hurried up a little bit there, they might have been able to play in Hopper or Hines who'd come forward. Throwing on the near side, Bradford Park Avenue. Scarborough manager wanting them to hurry up here. George Eze now, it's just on the halfway line, just inside Scarborough's half. Eze will go down the line. He's got Zach Kersey and Josh Hines as well as Harrison Hopper who heads it on. Really good. Comes away with the ball now. Inside his own box, goes long. Colson does really well to head it infield, looking for Charles, who finds him. Tackled by Fielding into Zach Kersey, who skips away from Charles. Gets it to Brad Dockett, trying to get past Lewis Maloney. Nutmegs him, does really well to get past him. Still going, Dockett. It's a brilliant run. He's got Hines up in support with him. He's been crowded out, strikes it, blocked by Qualter from about 30 yards, and Scarborough can come forward themselves now with Maloney. Dockett is showing some really good skill there. Maloney still coming forward, out wide to Colville on that right hand side, up against Cholton, who's had a better second half. Colville in towards Colson, headed away. Edge of the box is Maloney now. Out wide to Burton now. First time cross towards Charles, it's come through to George Sykes Kenworthy, who picks it up happily. And he's stayed down here, much to the anger of the Scarborough Athletic supporters behind that goal. 0-0, and they are going to call for treatment here. This will all get added on. Well, most of it, you'd think. We are going to find out how much time is going to be added on here. And a board with the time on it is about to be shown. We will see how much time he's added on at the end of this half. 0-0 here in West Yorkshire. As it stands, aside from the East Coast, Scarborough, it looks like their night's going to end up in disappointing, you'd have thought. Based on the lead position, they'd come away with all 3 points, but Bradford Park Avenue have fought really well, especially in the second half. And I've just caught a glimpse of the board, and it looks as though there's going to be 7 minutes added on at the end of this half. 7 minutes added on. Bradford Park Avenue will have to hold down. A little while longer as Jocelyn Scanworthy is on his feet once again, ready to play, and he goes along himself. 0-0, the Oswald Stadium, in the first minute of 7 added on. Leggy with a throw-in on the far side into Maloney. Back to Leggy now, trying to skip away from Hines, and he does so. Plays it down the line looking for Charles. He won't be able to keep that in, it's out for a goal kick. Charles himself is placing the ball on the 6-yard box. Science Campbell then picks it up and moves to the opposite end of the 6-yard box to take this goal kick. 0-0. 91 minutes played. Science Campbell again goes long. Coulter wins their head up against Hopper. It's come to Brad Doherty, who skews his clearance. It's more high than it is down the field. Throwing on the near side for Scarborough. Burton down the line into Coulson. Picked up by Greenfield. Forward into Charles, who's in the box now. Really good tackle by Luke Hammond, but Charles is still with the box. In towards the back post where Leggy is. Headed away brilliantly by Cholton. But it's not fully away. Maloney on the half volley. Can it be stopped from going in? Appeals for handball, waved away. Sam Fielding on the line stopped it. It looked as though it might have been handball, and then Josh Hines can't win the foul. Maloney now coming forward for Scarborough. Late controversy here as Scarborough wanted a penalty for Sam Fielding, handball on the line, but they've still not fully cleared it there. And it's come forward to drop for Coulson on the edge of the box. And half volley skewed. And George Simons Kenworthy just about manages to catch it and fall to the floor. He's back up on his feet now. Fielding there, blocking it on the line. No foul given, no penalty given. Remains 0-0 with 2 minutes of the 7 added on played. Max Kenworthy goes along. Burton wins the header, unchallenged, into Glynn. Charles does well up against Fielding to find Glynn. Back to Maloney now. Maloney into Leggy on the far side. Maloney, central now. He's got options to left in Greenfield and Burton. Here is Burton into Greenfield. Up against Zach Kersey, who's done really well defensively since coming on. Seen out for a throw-in by Burton on this left-hand side. Thrown quickly into Colville on the edge of the box. Back to Burton. Just controls it. Throw-in on this near side for Bradford Park Avenue. Just next to the corner flag. You will take their time with this. Throwing George Eze. It's already been booked for time wasting. That will force him to worry up a little bit. Goes down the line looking for Kersey. It's only as far as Burton. Finding Coulson now on the edge of the box. Back to Glynn. Just gets there before Hines does. Gets pushed to the floor. Appeals for a free kick. Waved away. It's cleared up to Cracknell. Cracknell starts too short, but he's winding up to go along, and he does go along. Only as far as Eze, but Greenfield manages to pick up the loose ball, and his strike skewed out for a goal kick. Nearly 4 minutes played of the 7 added on, 0-0. Goal kick, Sykes Kenworthy. In this extra time, it's been all Scarborough coming forward. Back on you, hanging on for this point here, a vital point towards the bottom of the table. Here on this Monday night, in the rain and wind. Sykes Kenworthy goes long. Header won by Glynn, only as far as Spencer knocks it forward. Snopper putting The defender under pressure, it's come through all the way through for Cracknell. Ball's out quickly into Maloney now. He's got space to run into. He's got the option down the line in Will Edgy. Goes for the crossfield ball, headed away by Zach Kersey. He's done his defensive work really well tonight. Throwing just on the halfway line. Burton, short to Gooder. Burton again, turns in field on Hines, back to Gooder. On the halfway line. Crosses it with the pass to Maloney. Once more onto the right hand side with Will Edgy. Goes for the give and go with Colville, but here is Colville after being fed by Maloney. Space for the striker, goes for it. Miles wide and over, another goal kick. And that's 5 minutes played of the 7 added on, 0-0. Colville with a strike from 30 yards at least. Never looks like going in. Just under 2 minutes to play. 0-0. Sykes Kenworthy has only just put the ball down on the edge of his 6 yard box to take his goal kick. Referee blows his whistle and ushers him to hurry up. Sykes Kenworthy looking for a 7th clean sheet of the season. Cracknell looking for his 9th. Burton wins the header. Jimmy Spencer wins the second ball. Appeals for a foul, not given. Cleared away by Coulter on his only out for a throw into Bradford Park Avenue. As we have 1 minute remaining of the 7 added on, 0-0. Eze with the throwing, goes down the line. Burton wins the header up against Hines. Eze they're battling for it. It's gone out for another throwing for Bradford Park Avenue. Winding the clock down. Eze now. Throwing. Just in front of the dugout. Goes down the line, looking for Hines. Burton wins it, but it's only infield to Hopper. And there is a foul in there and a free kick to Bradford Park Avenue. And that might be all for tonight, or at least as far as a Scarborough chance of winning is concerned. A foul in there on Hopper, who's still down. 0-0. This would be a really well-earned point as far as Bradford Park Avenue are concerned. Scarborough will be disappointed they haven't found a winner if it stays as is, which we'd expect. Sam Fielding to take it. Daniel Benson is going to leave him to take it. Fielding goes along. Burton heads it into Greenfield, heads it back to the goalkeeper, and there is full time here at the Arsehole Stadium. It's finished. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Scarborough Athletic 0. A huge point for both sides. Well, for Bradford Park Avenue. Scarborough Athletic themselves would be disappointed. Have to wait and see what sort of ramifications this has at the end of the season for their playoff hopes. And how big a point is that for Bradford Park Avenue? They've gone 2 defeats in a row home before tonight. That's a massive, massive point, and there is a bit of handbags here on the halfway line between the 2 sets of coaching staff. Bradford Park Avenue, you'd say, were well worth that point. They were much the better side for the last 20 minutes before the 7 minutes of added time began. Bradford Park Avenue still in the relegation zone, but that would be a much welcome point after the 2-1 defeat, the heartbreaking 2-1 defeat against Chester at the weekend. Bradford Park Avenue's next game is away to Peterborough Sports, the first away game in 3. They play Peterborough Sports. We're currently 16th next Saturday, first game in March. And the next home game is on Saturday the 11th of March as they host Alfreton. Scarborough's next game is a really difficult one. They are away to Kings Lynn, who are first next Saturday. Full-time score at the Horsehall Stadium. It's finished. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Scarborough Athletic 0.